Welcome to this edition of the Peanut Gallery. My guests today are Matt and Mason Moulton. How are you guys?
Just fine, Chris. Doing good.
Good. Welcome to the show. And we're going to discuss a lot of topics today, but obviously the first one will be basketball. Matt, you're going to be in your second year, I believe, as head coach at Yorktown.
That's correct.
Okay. And Mason, you're a freshman, I believe you said. So this will be your first year playing in the same program that your dad is leading. So talk a little bit about, Matt, about this your first head coaching job?
Yes, it is.
What inspired you or motivated you to want to tackle that?
Well, I played college basketball up at Taylor University. Had a great experience up there a long time ago. But I never had the coaching bug. I never had the coaching bug. A lot of my buddies that I played with at that time, they had it. I played with Chris Holtmann, who's the head basketball coach at Ohio State now. I played with John Groce, who's the head basketball coach at Akron. I played with Marty Beasley, who's the head coach at Fort Wayne Carroll. We're going to play them this year. I played with Ty Platt, the former head coach at Huntington College. All that time period was rich with guys who were kind of fired up to get right into coaching. I was not. I just never really had that, whatever you call it. And so I've taught for 21 years. But, I started coaching my boys. I have two boys. I started coaching their youth basketball from, Pee Wee YMCA, and then first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. And at Yorktown, we had, it was 3 years ago now, we had an opening. And I gave it a little bit of thought. And I will, just one more note there, I was the 8th grade basketball coach at Yorktown 3 years ago. So I kind of dove in and kind of, the embers were still smoldering a little bit. So I had fun with that. So I knew I could do it. I knew, the plays came back to me, the relationships, the coaching. So 2 years ago, we had an opening at Yorktown for our varsity position. Just didn't quite pull the trigger on applying. I had at that time a kindergartner, a second grader, a fourth grader, a fifth grader. It didn't feel quite right. So they hired somebody, and he coached for 2 years at Yorktown. And then he moved on. And so two springs ago, I guess it would be, there was an opening again, and I felt like, I want to see this program, in good shape for the future. Felt I was capable, just internally just felt good about it. My family felt good about it. We had a lot of discussions around the dining room table. And so the long answer is I dove in, I applied, interviewed, boom, boom. Every door was open for me. It went smooth, and that's how I became the head coach at Yorktown.
Well, I want to know how you would describe your first year. I know what people on the outside said that, and I would listen to WLBC and read the Star Press, obviously, and you made pretty great strides last year in your first year coming into a program like that. Would you agree?
Well, we had to get the culture right. And I know that's thrown out kind of cliche sometimes, but we truly had to get the culture in the basketball program right. Okay, so we had to get everybody to buy in on that. And then we really had to transform how the boys performed on the court in practice with just a true grit, toughness, play hard. Again, that sounds like a lot of coach speak, but you really have to get that done. Like, it has to be done. So, between playing hard and a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of positivity and enthusiasm, and culture getting right. Yeah, 11 and 13. I don't like losing 13 times as the competitor that I am, but we also won 11 times. We won a game in the county. We won a game in sectional, which is kind of little goals that we had. And so, success is defined in different ways. John Wooden's classic definition of success is just doing the best you can, having that peace of mind that you put forth your best effort. And I would say in large part, day after day, we accomplished that. So whatever the scoreboard said or whatever the record says, those are things that people can judge us on. But at the end of the day, we felt pretty good about the strides we made.
And Mason, What has it been like? Obviously, your dad's coached you before now, although now it'll be at the high school level. What's it been like not only playing for your dad, but I believe your grandfather is involved as well?
Yeah, I mean, just having the relationship with them on and off the court will help on the court, and just having that chemistry and be able to come to them and talk to them about anything really. I mean, if it be a play, personnel, just anything, be able to be open with them. It'll really help the team overall.
How do you think their experiences have they been able to help you and share those with you that might have helped you along the way as well?
Yeah, I mean, they're open to me too. They talk to me. I mean, they have that experience, so they want to make me the best basketball player and the best young man I can be. So they're always talking to me and helping me to do that.
Now, are you involved in other sports at Yorktown as well?
Yeah, I played football, basketball, and then track and field.
Okay, so you're busy all year round. So you're in the middle of football season right now.
Yep.
Um, how has everybody handled? You kind of got a preempt into basketball then. How has everybody handled the COVID situation at Yorktown? Has it been smooth?
Yeah, our administration's done a good job. It's been tough because we couldn't get this freshman class that's the freshman class right now, my class. We couldn't see them play really over the summer, but we started open gyms, and fall athletes like myself aren't allowed to scrimmage and stuff, but it's been good to just get in the gym a little and do some skills and drills. But yeah, as we transition into basketball season, it'll be good to get everyone in the gym and get that chemistry soon.
Well, we're going to talk a little bit about your faith now. I know, Mason, you're involved in FCA. What got you involved in that program, and what are the benefits of being involved in that program?
Starting in starting in sixth grade, we always had meetings Wednesday mornings, and so I was just, as a man of faith, I just got involved in those. And then in eighth grade, I became a leader and started talking at those. And I just really felt that God was calling me to do that, to help talk to those other kids. And I've continued doing that this year. We're still having meetings with COVID and stuff, so that's good. And so yeah, it just really helped me grow in my faith and as a leader.
Now, is Mr. Mosier your leader?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What kind of things has he done that maybe has inspired you to reach out to others? And I know recently they had the Field of Faith. Did you go to that, and what was that like?
Yeah, that was really good. He did a good job. I mean, he's amazing. He's a Jesus freak. He's always kind of took me under his wing, and he really got me involved into FCA and developed me into the leader I am. So he's just been a really good mentor to me.
How does your faith help you on the basketball court?
It helps me not get caught up into, stats, winning, losing, whatever it may be, and just remember that I'm playing for God, and just he's the only fan I want to impress, and I just want to demonstrate that on the court and just be a good sport, be a good leader, and show that to others.
Well, Matt, obviously he's had to have the example there from somewhere. How much has your faith helped you along the way, and how does it help you while you're on the sidelines?
My faith has helped me tremendously in my whole life. I mean, I was raised in the church every day from when I was 1 week old till the day I left for college. We were in the pew at Parker United Methodist Church every Sunday. So it means a lot to me. I've just been able to navigate different life highs and lows through my faith. You try not to base your identity on certain things that can come and go. If you base your identity on your foundation, on your relationship with Christ, that's always going to be there. That's always going to be there. So from a basketball standpoint, again, I'm I'm a competitor. I mean, I don't like to lose. But yet, when we do lose, I don't come home and, curl up in the corner of the bedroom and not talk to anybody for 2 days. It's not what I want to base my identity on. And that's not being soft. That doesn't mean I don't have a burning desire to win. That just means you you have your foundation set on things that are solid, that don't come and go. So a win is a win. It's great. We celebrate it, but we don't fill out our nomination for Coach of the Year. A loss is a loss. We don't like it, but we don't sulk for days. We just come back and do family stuff, and just that's how we kind of navigate. That's how I kind of navigate the season.
What is it like having your dad there with you on the sidelines helping?
Oh, that's been great. Dad, he's a former teacher and coach. He coached the Monroe Central varsity team back in 75, 76, 76, 77. He had a 2-year stretch there back in the mid-70s. And then he came back in 95 to coach my younger brother's senior season at Monroe Central. And all 3 years were successful. Dad has a great knack for relationships. His specialty, at his age, he's 73 now. So at his age, he's not doing a lot of barking and teaching out on the court. But he loves taking our guys off to the side, maybe on the bleachers, and just having that one-on-one talk with them. How's this going for you? How can you take the next step? What can we help you with? How can we, get through this? How can we get through that? He has a unique way, and he's intense too. I mean, he's intense even at his age. He has a unique way of getting his point across, but yet that he loves you, and he can dig at you a little bit. I mean, he gets into you, but we all know that he loves us at the end of the day. And that's really a unique trait to have, as a coach, is you want to push your players, you want to get into them, bring the best out in them. But at the end of the day, they have to know that you love them and you want what's best for them. And that's what Dad is his specialty is. So I'm just getting a kick out of it. He helped me that 8th grade year when I coached the 8th grade. I asked him to help me, and that's when we first tried it out, and it just went so smooth. And yeah, we had a couple moments where we went back and forth on a personnel decision or a play, but it was great. You work it out just like coaches do. And for last year, same thing. He was right by me on the bench every day in practice. And yeah, we had 2 or 3 moments where we had to sort it out, and a minor, not a bicker, but you know what I'm talking about. But we were just on the same wavelength, same page for the boys' success. So it's been working out great.
Mason, how has your class been over the years as far as success, and how much improvement you feel like your class has made?
Yeah, we've been really solid through middle school, 6th, 7th, 8th grade. Only lost 1 game. And then, so we're obviously looking forward to transitioning that into high school. And we've really developed, we've had a good core of 5 or 6 players playing together since 2nd grade. So, I mean, we've seen our growth, and we're looking to continue to do that in high school, and I think we will be able to do that.
Well, Matt, obviously you were the career leading scorer at Monroe Central. What kinds of things did you learn as a player that may be helping you now? And just on a side note, I didn't know you back then, but your senior year, I believe you graduated the same year as my sister, and we attended Blackford, and I believe we had a pretty good game against you guys. I was probably writing for the newspaper at the time in '91 when that took place.
Well, boy, that's taking me back. In '91, I'll try to get through this part of it, the interview, but my senior year, and first of all, I was not the leader that I should have been in high school. I mean, we all grow, and high schoolers are high schoolers, and a lot depends on different factors. But in looking back, I wish I would have pulled my teammates along a little better than I did. But anyway, our senior year, I think we went maybe 14-11 at Monroe Central. And yes, I was the county's all-time leading scorer. So I shot a lot. I didn't pass too much, but but I did have the gift of being able to fill up the bucket. But we used to play. It was the single class back then, single class basketball tournament. So our sectional was up at Jay County, and I think it was Jay County, Union City, Delta, Wapahani, Blackford, and us. 6-team sectional. So we played one of our rivals, Wapahani, in the opening game. I remember Matt Luce was on that team. He's now the head coach of Wapahani. We beat them, and so then we advanced to the second round against the Delta Eagles. And Monroe Central, we don't I've never had too much success against the Deltas, the Yorktowns, the Muncie Souths, and so forth. Every once in a while you beat them, but that was a pretty tough game for us. Well, we beat Delta. And so now we're in the final game against the Blackford Bruins. Brian Roush is on the team. He's the superintendent at Wapahani Schools now. And Doug Marshall is on that team. I think he's the principal over at Delta Middle School. And who else? Dave Marshall, who's an assistant coach at Delta now. They had a nice team. They had a nice team, but we had a nice team too. We're up 13 at halftime. And I remember jogging into the Jay County locker room, feeling pretty good about things. And they came out and put the old full court press on us, and they got it back, got it tied. We ended up down 1, 3 seconds left, and it's our ball out of bounds on the side. And it comes into me, and I take a couple dribbles, and I throw that three-pointer up for the victory, and it was right on line. The only problem was it was a little long, bounced off the back rim. So we lost the sectional championship game by 1 point to Blackford, who then went on the next weekend, and they beat Kokomo in the first round of the Anderson Regional. So they had a good squad, but that was a tough one, Chris. That was a tough one. But just to circle back to your question, though, yeah, I had that experience in high school, but really my college experience, I played for Coach Paul Patterson, he's a small college legend. I mean, he's in the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame, and he was just a unique coach at that time. He was kind of Bobby Knight without the profanity. He would really get into you. It was a great experience. And like I say, I mentioned some of the guys that I played with. We really had some great teams in the early 90s up at Taylor. We qualified for the national tournament, NAIA national tournament 3 years in a row there. And so I really learned a lot about just kind of like grit and toughness and attention to detail. And I remember one of Coach's sayings, he always said, everybody's working hard. Ask any coach, everybody's working hard, but are you working hard with quality effort? And so whatever you do, are you just doing that little extra to rise above what everybody else is doing? Maybe not doing the normal, but doing what's uncommon or what might take your team to the next level. So a lot of those things I carry with me in coaching. I try to get us to another level, to achieve another level somehow, some way, whether it's through, again, grit, toughness, doing the little things, attention to detail, being organized, let's be in great physical condition. So yeah, I hope I answered your question eventually there.
Yeah, you did. And actually, I believe Mr. Patterson's son played on that Blackford team as well that we were talking about.
That's exactly right. Shannon Patterson. I totally forgot about him. And Dave Parker was on that team. He's currently the principal up at Norwell High School. Yeah, they had some good players. They really did. Rick Teets was the coach, and it was a heck of a game. They got us.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna have Rick on down the road because that was an interesting season writing for the paper. I believe they averaged about 110 points a game early on in the season, and then they kind of flipped and did the defensive thing the rest of the year, and they were kind of balanced in once they finally hit the tournament.
Oh, that's right. Yep.
So, and Brian Roush is the one that hit the game winner against Kokomo. That when I interviewed him, he ran into Basil Malby not too long ago, and Coach Malby remembered that shot. So
that's
said it hurt a lot.
I was there. I saw it. Yeah, that was neat.
Yeah. So who are some of your mentors? Obviously, Patterson probably had some impact on you, but who are some of the mentors along the way of you playing and now being involved in coaching?
Oh, yeah. Well, my father is the greatest mentor, that I have. He loved us unconditionally growing up. And my college coach, Paul Patterson, I mean, anything I do from a basketball standpoint, he's right there. He's struggling down in South Indianapolis right now. He's got some early onset, health-related problems, but I'm, thinking about him. He did so much for so many of us. My grandfather on my mother's side, his name's Bob Ashcraft. He was an old Warner Gear guy, and just one of those old timers, just tough as nails. Did a lot of construction and painting in the summers, and I grew up in the summers going over to his house and helping him just do physical work. And I did that on into my 20s, all through my 20s. I didn't get married till I was 29. And I learned so much about just physical work from him. I've never met a harder working guy in my life than him. Simply working hard, just working hard. We never took any breaks. We just worked through the whole day. I could never outwork him, no matter how old he got, how old I was. He just was always one of those, the greatest generation, just the rock solid hard worker. So I learned how to work hard from him. I learned how to show unconditional love to people from my father. I learned how to work hard with quality effort from Coach Patterson. I would put those three individuals right at the top of the list.
Mason, what motivates you when, you obviously you're involved in 3 sports. I don't know which one your favorite one is, but what motivates you to put all that time in? Because kids are required, I don't want to use the word required, but anymore they're expected to put a lot of time into all of their sports. How do you balance that?
Yeah, motivation. I mean, we talked about faith, and obviously if I can put in that work and get to a high level, that can give me a platform to share my faith with others, and others will see me as the leader there. And then obviously, I mean, you love to win. If we can get to state finals one day, I mean, that definitely motivates me too. And just being able to share that experience with my dad along the way. And so, yeah, those are some big motivators for me. Yeah.
How do you balance things? I mean, obviously you've got school, you've got family, you've got your faith, and then a lot of practice time, I would imagine.
Yeah, we just always got to keep God first. We got to get to church Sunday, even though AAU stuff, but we got to keep that first. And then we got to keep academics first, obviously, before sports. So I focus on that a lot. That's big for me. And then I got to keep relationships, family, friends. That's big, but you still got to put in the work for sports and stuff. You can't get tunnel vision on it and just let that dominate your life. But you can definitely put in the work and still have those good relationships with God, friends, family, and do all that with sports.
Obviously, you told me a little bit about your class's success coming up through the basketball program. What are some hopes that you have this year and maybe down the road that you guys can help with this Yorktown basketball program?
Yeah, we got a lot of good players this first year. Hopefully a lot of them can develop on JV, even see some varsity time, and hopefully they can really just get a lot better and be prepared for the future. Because come junior and senior year, we're looking for that state championship. I mean, that's our goal. So if we can just keep developing everyone, get them on the court, and make them better ball players, we're looking to get down to Bankers Life Fieldhouse pretty soon, in a couple years.
And your schedule isn't easy either as far as the conference and some of the teams you have to play. Do you guys look at that as a challenge?
It's obviously a challenge. I mean, small school in our conference. We've added some good schools like Fort Wayne Carroll. So it is a challenge, but it's not an excuse. We have to just keep working, and it has to be a motivation for us to work harder and just be better than them. And we know if we put in the work, we put in the effort, then we can definitely beat them.
Well, Matt, first year's out of your way. What are some of your hopes this year? What steps forward do you hope that the program takes this year?
I just hope we can continue to do things the right way. We got the culture in place. I think we have buy-in from the players. And so just, I just think everything will be smoother. Everything from just ordering travel gear to, how many basketballs do you need, to where do we plug in the score clock for practice. I mean, just, everything we kind of know, having been through it 1 year. So yeah, just from an efficiency standpoint, I think it's going to be better. I just expect everybody to, again, take care of their academics, take care of their relationships, be on board with us, make healthy choices both on and off the court. And we really just want to develop young men. We really want to develop tough basketball players who are going to play super hard, super smart, and we'll see what happens from there.
And what you do have a challenge with your schedule. Not only do you face a tough conference, but some of those teams like Delta, you could end up playing in the county tournament as well. And then now you've picked up Carroll. Obviously, you're wanting to challenge your kids a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, the scheduling is that's kind of an art, a little juggling act. You could at Yorktown we're 3A. There's 4 classes: 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A. I suppose we could load our schedule with some 1A and a lot of 1A and 2A schools and end up 16-5 or whatever, 15 whatever, and so that looks good. But you don't know how much tougher you're getting playing that competition. We could load up our schedule playing the Cathedrals and the Jeffersonvilles and the Columbus Norths, all 4A schools, and end up 3-20. But yet, did you get tougher playing against those teams? Are you battle tested when you go into a 3A sectional? So, I think most programs want to land somewhere in between. You play a lot of schools that are in your class, then you challenge yourself with some that are higher class, and then, you want to take the challenge of, hopefully playing some classes beneath you and taking care of business there. So that's what we've done. Now, it's unique. You were talking to Mason about our conference. We are the smallest team in our conference. I think us and Delta and Newcastle, out of the 8 teams, I believe we're the only 3A schools. I believe the other 5 would be 4A schools: New Palestine, Mount Vernon, Shelbyville, Pendleton Heights, and Greenfield Central. So you're talking 5 4As and 3 3As. So we get a pretty healthy dose of competition just playing our schedule every year. And so, yeah, I mentioned my good friend Marty Beasley up at Fort Wayne Carroll. We're going to take them on this year. We play Muncie Central. We play Jay County, a 4A school. So we want to challenge ourselves. But again, like he said, no excuses. You got to be ready every night for whatever, whoever's on the schedule, and give it your best shot. And then hopefully you're battle tested once sectional comes around.
Well, I appreciate you guys coming on with me today and sharing about your faith and sharing about what basketball has done for both of you in your lives to this point. I look forward to seeing what you can do in your second year there. I enjoyed seeing the improvements and the progress last year and hearing a lot of good things. So hopefully that continues for both of you.
Appreciate it, Chris. Thanks for having us.
Yep, thank you.
Absolutely. And I'm sure I'll try to get to, if we're allowed to, try to get down there to watch you at some point. And hopefully they'll let some fans into the gym. And it's been kind of a challenge this fall. I've even had to miss some of my son's cross-country meets with all this COVID stuff. So hopefully we can get past that and people can start watching their kids participate.
Yeah, that'd be super. We hope to have a lot of fans out to see us. We're going to put a good product out there, and we'd love for you to be able to catch us sometime.
Absolutely. Well, I wish you both the best of luck. And until next time, this is Chris Landis. I got a guy that'll edit this anyway, so I'll just tell him to make sure he does.